So if you were thinking about making a move here in Whatcom County, Bellingham, Ferndale, Linden, Blaine, the most successful clients today are making decisions based on the data of the market, not the drama. So stick around. I'm going to break down the stats, numbers, and everything you need to know whether you're selling, you're buying, or investing in real estate right here. So stick around and stay tuned. Hey, what's up, guys? So why aren't homes selling in 2025? I wanted to take a deep dive in some of the statistics in Bellingham and greater Whatcom County to talk with, my viewers here about what's going on in the market, what am I seeing, and what are the specific things I'm sharing with my clients today so we can make adjustments and find success in real estate. So why aren't homes selling in 2025, right? I mean, the reality is homes are selling every single day, every single month. Though fact of the matter, we've been seeing, like you see on screen here, some stats that are helping decode what's actually going on in the market. So I'm taking a look here between Whatcom County as a whole, Bellingham, Ferndale, and Blaine, just to pick a few areas, right? So there are a lot of new listings coming on the market. It can be kind of cyclical. So last numbers that were reported here in May of 2025, there were a lot of new homes that came on the market. When we look at the graph here, we see from December, we see this nice uptick. This is brand new homes on the market. What I want to look at is how many homes are for sale on the market. And every single year in and year out, I tend to find August in and throughout Whatcom County. August, look at 2024, we had the most amount of homes for sale on the market. When we look at the months that have the fewest amount of inventory, it's somewhere December, January timeline. So let's look back here. August of 2024, we had the most listings on the market. For that year, if we go back down to January, we had the fewest amount of homes for sale on the market between all of Bellingham, Whatcom County, Ferndale, Blaine. Let's go back to 2023. August 2023, we had the most homes available for sale. And then we go back to January, we had the fewest. And again, we go back to 2022, August had the most homes for sale. This is important for any client thinking about making a move, whether you're selling or buying. Buyer clients, August, you have the most homes to choose from. It's fun in the Northwest up here to put your home on the market when the weather's nice, when it's comfortable inside, outside. And a lot of home sellers say, hey, if I get my price, I'll sell. What I then find is there's a lot of buyers out there that are kind of looky-loos. They're thinking, it's kind of fun to go look at properties in the springtime, summertime, and the early fall. And as we get through, it's not fun to be shopping for homes or marketing your property in the winter. I tend to see year in and year out the sellers that are on the market in the wintertime, kind of like fourth quarter and first quarter. When we have showings, they tend to be serious buyers because those buyers don't want to be out because it's fun. Buyers are out looking in those colder months because it is important that they're actually they are motivated to make a purchase. Conversely, sellers that were on the market in the winter times, you're more motivated because it's not fun to be on the market during the holidays. So, okay, that's a little tangent. As we look through the numbers, we can see in May of 2025, we have the most amount of inventory, looking back all the way to 2022. Now let's take a look. Let's go back 10 years here. So we have about the same inventory level as we did in August of 2029. That's kind of interesting. And that's all of Whatcom County. So 765 homes for sale. This is just residential homes in Whatcom, Bellingham, Ferndale. Let's go back 765. When we get close to that, we're kind of back in August of 2019. We had 750 homes on the market. We didn't have that in 2018. The last time we had more homes than this on the market was back in 2017. That's interesting. When I'm looking at that, sellers, we need to be on our game because buyers have more to choose from than they have in the past 6 years. And definitely looks like we're inching up close. Let's see curious to see what happens in June and July and August this year. So a couple of the things we want to take a look at. Average days on market. Let's go back to just kind of look at, the last 3 years average. So Whatcom County and county in total, the average days on market for property before they sell is 33 days. Bellingham, we're at 19 days on average, and we're up 35% from the prior year. Ferndale takes a little bit longer, 37 days, and Blaine's kind of on par with that. But when we look at this is crazy. Blaine's days on market have jumped 76% year over year. That tells me Blaine was really hot a year ago, or they had fewer homes to sell. And now with the inventory levels, there's a lot of new construction up there in Blaine. A lot of homes coming on the market. Have had a lot of clients up there looking recently. So we want to be cognizant of that. So if you're a buyer and you're out shopping for a home around Whatcom County, it's been on the market longer than 33 days, I'd be betting a seller's more likely and more motivated to maybe make concessions or provide credits or do more on an inspection versus if we come and make an offer first weekend, if we're a buyer, how likely is that seller going to be to want to negotiate if you're either competing or you're right out of the gate? So we want to look at days on market from both perspectives, buying and selling. Now, when I look here, let's just look at some stats. Monthly supply of inventory. 3 to 6 months of inventory is a balanced market. Less than 3 is a seller market. More than 6 is a buyer's market. We have, for the last 3 years, effectively been in a seller's market. We've been less than 3 months of inventory. We get back literally the last 3 years. This is the first month, May, where we have reporting numbers from, where we have seen balancing out of the market. There's more homes available, but don't let the headlines fool you. In Whatcom County and Bellingham, I think we're insulated more than other parts of the country. When you look at the Floridas and Texas, Arizonas, where they just have a ton of land to build, that there's a lot of homes that are coming on the market and not as many buyers. Whereas we're insulated up here in Bellingham and Whatcom County because we can go north about 30 minutes and we hit Blaine in Canada. We can go west about 5 minutes. Then you got Pacific Ocean. East, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And then you got mountains. Okay, so if we take a look at what the price points are looking like here in Whatcom County, Bellingham, and around the area. So I like to look at median and average prices. So the median, if you take a list of home sales and you have all of these sales, the median number, that means we just take the one right in the middle. It's a really good number to use for real estate because we can have really high sales, fewer low sales. But in real estate, that tends to be kind of where the market is going, the median price. And it's good to look at the average just to see if there's some really big sales that are skewing the numbers. So in all of Whatcom County, when we look at kind of the median price point, $634,000 is the median home price. In Bellingham, it's a little bit more, $735,000. Ferndale's just above the median. Blaine is below the median. When we look at average pricing for all residential homes around the county, we have Whatcom County average price $723,000. Bellingham's at $831,000. Ferndale and Blaine a little bit under $7,000. So when I look at that, I'm kind of interested to see kind of where are some break points. When I look at, I kind of take $750,000 to see, hey, how's the market looking like in all of Whatcom County? Yeah, there's some opportunities when we look at homes for sale under these price points. So in all of Whatcom County, there are 405 homes under $750,000. And then you look kind of the breakdown here between Bellingham, Ferndale, and Blaine. Then if I go over $750,000, we're looking at there's 360 homes in all of Whatcom County, 155 of them being in Bellingham are over $750,000. When I look at this stuff, I think there are opportunities in the entire spectrum, especially when we start looking at days on market, when we're looking at number of showings to pending and how many showings listings are actually getting. I tend to find, and I share this with all clients, that the most successful clients I get to work with tend to make decisions based on the data of the market, not the drama. When again, you're reading headlines saying, oh, we're getting into this shifting market and what's going on in 2025. I do think sellers that are not prepared, overpricing, and not willing to listen to what the market's telling them through this data, they're going to be stuck with a property that might not be sellable, might sit on the market for a really long time. They might have to make considerable concessions because they didn't do the right steps and weren't strategic up front. Whereas buyers, I think there's going to be more opportunity, especially with interest rates that we don't see coming down that everybody wants. I think buyers are going to have more opportunities to negotiate with sellers, to get additional credits and repairs that we have not been able to get in the last year, the year before that, or even the year before that. So I think we're kind of balancing out as a real estate market, at least here locally in Whatcom County. So if you have any questions about what your real estate plans are, what the next move looks like, heck, if you're looking to buy a property, sell a property, or invest in real estate, I'd love to talk through what your plans are and create a strategy to find success in today's market. And I'll look forward to talking soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys.